A few years ago, a couple was spending a quiet December evening at home, just the two of them. The husband was watching TV in the family room, while his wife admired her pink Victorian Christmas tree in the foyer. She stepped outside to take a photo of it through the lace curtains, curious how it would look. But when she checked the picture, she froze. On the left side stood a tall, dark figure, two long black legs blocking the lamp table behind it. The table's light was completely hidden. She showed her husband, and both were stunned. Their home dated back to 1870. She believes the figure seemed to wear tall black pants and a long Civil War-style coat. It was definitely not her husband. And whatever it was, they never saw it again. In Kentucky, a woman was home alone with her 3 dogs while her husband was away on duty. That night, she decided to spend her time cleaning and decorating their bar area for Christmas, and recorded the process on her phone. But while she was filming, she captured something she couldn't explain. A deep male breath right next to the microphone. She said she felt it too, warm air brushing past her left ear. The moment it happened, her dogs reacted instantly. Shaken, she locked herself in the bedroom with them until morning. So what exactly did she record that night? In December 1996, a woman was found lifeless under a cedar tree in Pleasantdale Cemetery, Virginia. She had carefully arranged a small Christmas display, an 8-inch tree, ornaments, and gifts labeled "To Jesus." There are no signs of struggle or foul play. Police found only a backpack with sleeping pills and alcohol beside her. She carried no ID, and fingerprints or dental records brought no results. For decades, she remained an unidentified mystery. People called her the Christmas Tree Lady. Then, in 2022, DNA genealogy finally revealed her identity. Joyce Mayer, 69, from Pennsylvania. She had lived a quiet, deeply religious life, and it seems she chose that cemetery to end her life peacefully near Christmas. But why is still unknown to her family. For 25 years, her identity remained a mystery. But now, at last, the one behind the Christmas Tree Lady has been revealed. This photo was taken in the 1980s with a 35mm film camera and developed at a local shop. When the family looked through their Christmas photos, they noticed something unusual. A figure standing in the dark hallway on the left. It looked like a woman in a long white dress. No one in the house had worn anything like that, and all 4 adults and the child were standing in front of her at the time. So who, or what, appeared in the hallway that night? She wondered, was it a ghost, or could there be another explanation for what they captured? Chris was having a quiet night at home when a sudden noise echoed from downstairs. Curious, he grabbed his phone and went to check. What he captured next left him questioning everything. A Santa decoration hung in the hallway, and as he filmed, it began to move on its own. No windows were open, no wind, no one else in the house. By the next morning, Chris got rid of the decoration. Rick's baby received some photos from their grandmother showing her Christmas decorations, but in one picture, they noticed something alarming. A dark figure appeared in the mirror next to their grandma. They asked her about it, but she said she was completely alone. The shape didn't match anything in the room and looked solid. Online, Some people even thought it looked like two figures standing together and suggested taking another photo from the same angle to compare. They still haven't solved the mystery, but it definitely feels eerie. It was Sav's first New Year's Eve without her father. She and her mom tried to stay cheerful. But while counting down to the new year, this happened.
1, 2, 3, straight up. Oh. Alright, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh! I can get it. Twist it. Woo! Happy New Year's! Happy New Year. That has not worked! Hold on! Okay. No, it worked, but we just haven't. That has not. I've twisted it! That has not worked! That's my dad's snow globe. Like, we designated that to, like, be my dad. Oh my god. What the fuck?
It was her father's old snow globe, the one that hadn't worked for years. Sav tried fixing it many times, but it never played a sound. Yet, that night, it started playing on its own. Could it have been her father wishing them a happy new year? They believe it was. Someone visiting the UK took a photo of the Christmas tree at Blickling Hall in Norfolk. When they later showed the pictures to a friend, they noticed something they couldn't explain. They didn't remember anyone standing there, and from the photo, it's hard to identify what the shape even is. When they posted it on Facebook, people commented that it looked like the Grim Reaper, or the ghost of Christmas future. Many agreed the place has long been known to be haunted, but no one could really explain the figure without leaning toward the paranormal. A parent shared a short clip from their child's room. Their kid had just received a new plastic drawer for Christmas. It hadn't even been used yet, when the camera captured this. The drawer suddenly dropped from the toy shelf, all on its own. It wasn't loose, and the design required a firm push to lock in place. The parent tried to recreate the same movement later, but couldn't. Common explanations like wind, temperature changes, or vibrations didn't fit the conditions in the room. And this wasn't the first strange thing to happen. The parent mentioned earlier motion alerts from an empty living room, and small figurines that had mysteriously fallen over. Could these events be connected? One snowy night, a couple woke to the sound of their 1-year-old crying for nearly 2 hours straight. It was strange. Their baby usually slept through the night. At the same time, their phones kept lighting up with motion alerts from the security cameras outside. When they finally checked the footage, they saw snow falling gently across the garden. But that wasn't all. In the bottom left corner of the screen, something was moving. It didn't follow the direction of the falling snow. It drifted slowly across the yard before fading into the darkness. The strange sighting kept the couple awake long after their child fell back asleep. Could their baby have sensed something? In 2015, Samuel took a selfie while spending an evening with 3 friends. Everything seemed normal at the time. But later, when he looked at the photo, he noticed something strange in the top left corner. A faint figure. It looked like a person in a robe with short, curly hair. No one in the house looked like that, and none of them remembered seeing anyone there. Was it just pareidolia, or did Samuel capture something we can't quite explain? A woman's musical snow globe suddenly started playing after years of sitting untouched. After a minute, she recorded it and posted it online.
Nana?
hadn't been wound in years, and nothing in the room had moved or changed. No wind, no temperature shifts, nothing. The tune went on long enough to unsettle the owner, who instantly thought it might have been her nana. Many commenters agreed, but one person offered a more mundane explanation. It was likely the inner spring losing tension and playing a few notes, which apparently isn't all that uncommon. Is it really just a coincidence? Or do you believe moments like this happen for a reason? This person was enjoying a quiet night at home when he suddenly got a notification from his trail camera. Curious, he checked the footage and saw this. A person standing alone on a snowy path in the middle of the night. Concerned, he went out to check the spot, thinking maybe someone was lost and needed help. But when he got there, no one was around. Even stranger, there were no footprints. Maybe it was just a passerby caught in a single frame. But if that's true, why were there no footprints in the snow? These disturbing Santa photos were common from the 1960s to the 1980s. Most setups were small local events, often done in community halls or department stores. Costumes were either homemade or cheaply rented, and the makeup was thick stage paint that made the faces look sharp and unnatural. Some Santas even wore hard plastic masks, simply because proper beards weren't available. The result? Photos that were meant to be cheerful, but ended up looking more like scenes from a nightmare. While out on a late night walk, this person recorded their friend attempting a cartwheel. She slipped, fell, and accidentally captured something else in the process. As she hit the ground, a tall, misty shape appeared near the streetlight and seemed to drift toward her before fading away. The camera shakes during the fall, yet the figure stays perfectly in place, suggesting something might have been really there. Some believe it could have been her guardian angel, others aren't so sure. What do you think that shape was? A Facebook user was showing her friend some family photos from Christmas 2002. But the friend noticed something strange. Someone seemed to be standing behind the brother. Someone who shouldn't have been there. The user knew that only the siblings and their known friends were present that day, and even asked others to confirm it. No one remembered any other child being there. They posted the photo to Facebook, noting that the house had a history of unsettling events. Heavy footsteps at night, whispering from empty rooms, and one time, the pantry doors had opened on their own, sending cans scattering across the kitchen. The brother had even seen an older woman with a bloody face in the living room, but no one had ever seen a child like the one in the photo. It seemed clear they weren't the only ones living in that house at the time. For days, a Reddit user kept hearing strange noises at night. Something, or someone, seemed to be moving around his house. So he decided to set up security cameras around the property. Then, one night, something finally happened. In the footage, one of his doors began to move on its own, or at least, that's what it looked like. But then, the camera caught this. It turned out to be nothing paranormal at all, just a Christmas prank from a family member trying to scare him. A woman shared footage from her mother's in-home daycare. One afternoon in December, a little boy suddenly screamed and bolted out of the playroom. Moments after he ran, the small playhouse toppled over on its own.
Were you in there? Were you in there?
No.
Who knocked this over? Who knocked this over?
Maybe it was just air. Yeah, what was it done? Well, I could have
When they reviewed the clip frame by frame, they spotted something chilling. Pale hands gripping the edge of the doorway. They later posted a follow-up video explaining that they tried to come up with normal explanations for what had happened, but many viewers weren't convinced.
I wanted to quickly show you exactly what it was that was scaring the little kid that my mom was watching. So pretty much, so firstly we have the house, and obviously you guys saw that it fell, but the other thing I wanted to point out was that it's pretty hefty, so it really doesn't make any sense that it would just fall on its own like that. So that's just something I wanted to point out. And this is the room. The crazy thing about this is that there was like markings at the top of the entranceway of like the doorway, and I guess in the video you can see hands gripping onto the doorway. I don't really know what to make of that. I thought at first that it was like bugs or something like that, but it looked almost like two hands like gripping on the top, like leading into this room, just like. But the main thing, and the reason that the little boy was screaming, is actually in here. We have this covered up for a reason. Apparently, the little boy told my mom that he saw a face in these mirrors. We already found someone who's going to take it off our hands and pick it up off Facebook Marketplace, but we have been keeping this room off limits.
Then, another clip surfaced. The child's safety gate unlocked by itself, and as she tried to record it, she accidentally captured something even stranger.
Holy shit. That's fucking creepy. Do it again. Like, yeah, okay. Do it again. I'll wait. Do it again. Open the gate. Oh my.
The sheet covering the mirror pushed outward, though there was nothing behind it except the mirror itself. After that, the family decided to remove the vanity and block off the entire room. A Reddit user shared that he took a temporary job at a loading dock during Christmas. One evening, the foreman sent him a message saying he had captured something strange in a photo. The worker stood on the left, and above his shoulder, inside one of the boxes, there was a face. A face in a place where no one should have been. Some said it was just a trick of the light, but the worker admitted this wasn't the first unsettling thing he had experienced. He had served 2 tours in Afghanistan, in 2007-2008 and 2010-2011, and claimed to have witnessed dark shadows flickering in the roads. He believed that something malevolent had attached itself to him back then, a dark entity born from the hate, fear, and bloodshed of that place. 17 years later, he still feels it's never really left him. One morning, someone woke up to a strange sight. Someone had built a snowman in their front yard, staring directly inside. But this wasn't a normal snowman. It had a long neck, a small head, and a straight, almost human-like posture. At first, they decided to keep it, thinking it was funny. But when night fell, the sculpture suddenly looked a lot more creepy than amusing. Who did this, and why? A woman was home alone when she noticed something bizarre. Through the small window above her front door, a head with long, dark hair appeared. The face wasn't clear. But the window was close to the ceiling, far too high for anyone to look through without a ladder. Still, something was there. In December 2018, a mother took this photo of her sons. It was just a casual picture, a simple moment she wanted to save for later. When they looked at it again, they noticed something weird. A faint face appeared in front of one of her sons. No one remembered seeing anything unusual that day, and to this day, the family still wonders how it ended up in the photo and what it could have been. A Reddit user named NoSignal10137 shared an old clip from his childhood YouTube channel. He said he was just filming a simple trampoline flip and believed he was completely alone. But years later, while re-watching the video, he'd noticed something that unsettled him. A figure was sitting behind a small table near the trampoline. The table blocked its face, and each time the camera pointed in that direction, the screen flashed blue. Was someone really sitting there, silently watching him, or was something else happening that day? I'm not sure which is more disturbing, the idea of a real person hiding nearby, or something paranormal caught on camera. While looking through old family albums, someone came across this Christmas photo and noticed an odd detail. In the bottom right corner, a clear face could be seen, completely out of place. They posted it to Facebook, and soon people pointed out another figure on the woman's clothing on the left. It clearly resembled a woman in a dress. Some commenters suggested it might be a film overlap or a reflection from scanning, but I don't think so. The image of the ghostly woman looked familiar to me, and after some Googling, I found the original image. So I'm assuming none of this story is actually true. It shows just how easily these kinds of photos can be faked. Did you expect that? A Reddit user shared a Christmas photo taken in the early to mid-90s at Bag's Tavern in Bag Square, Utica, New York. The old building, originally a log house built in 1794, appears in the background of the shot. But that's not all. The user posted it on Reddit, wondering if others noticed the figure in the window on the right side. Many commenters agreed it looked strange, saying it resembled a pale woman standing inside. Others think it's just pareidolia. What do you think? A man checked his backyard camera on Christmas Eve after it detected motion, but what he found didn't seem normal. A pale, semi-transparent figure ran past the fence so fast that parts of its body seemed to fade into the background. Only its legs were fully visible. Even if it was just a camera glitch, like the infrared light or compression issues making moving objects blend with the fence, and it was a real person, what were they doing running through his backyard? He went outside to check but saw no one. The grass showed a few pressed spots, but nothing solid. He still doesn't understand what happened that night. Reddit user Smiling Sensei's daughter kept crying, saying, "The little girl in the TV will get me." The woman noticed it too and took a photo to share online. The screen showed a face near the bottom. It stayed there no matter what they played, and it definitely wasn't part of the movie. They knew it didn't belong. One commenter suggested it could just be burned into the LCD from leaving it on another screen for too long, but the user replied that it hadn't been there the day before. Eventually, the face disappeared and they never saw it again, even when they played the movie back. They really had no idea what it was, but it left them feeling uneasy, so they gave the TV away and got a new one. Two girls took a mirror selfie at a Christmas party at Brokenshire Resort around 2010, inside the restroom. But when they looked at the photo, two figures in long white gowns appeared in the background. When they turned around, no one was there, and they were certain no one had been there when the picture was taken. They would have noticed, since they were looking straight into the mirror. Behind them was just a plain wall with nothing on it, and no one at the party looked anything like the two figures that showed up. Students and staff had often talked about footsteps echoing in empty halls, quiet corners that felt wrong, and sudden movement in places that should have been still. The photo never really left their minds. TikToker Taylor Paul shared this home security footage of what began as a calm Christmas morning, until this happened. The door of her oven suddenly opened on its own. The caption read, "Merry Christmas to us, #haunted house." Could her home really be haunted, or was it just a setup for views? In later TikToks, she shared more clips from her so-called haunted house, explaining that it's a very old home with a long history. She even showed that she'd installed several cameras throughout the house to capture all the strange things happening. Still, many online weren't convinced, suggesting it could have been staged with tape, a string, or clever editing. This family photo was taken on Christmas in the early 1900s, but it captured more than anyone expected. A faint, ghostly figure appears above them, emerging from the Christmas tree. At first glance, it looks unsettling, but after some digging, the explanation became clear. The photo shows a common issue in early 1900s photography, known as double exposure. Cameras sometimes reuse plates or fail to advance the film properly, causing parts of an older image to overlap with a new one. The soft, incomplete shape of the figure fits perfectly with that effect, created when someone moved during one of the exposures. Reddit user IDKManHey12 took a Thanksgiving photo at their cousin's house, focusing on the little girl. But later they noticed a dark shape in the window behind her. It looked like a face. The family mentioned they often hear strange sounds coming from that room, which made the picture even more unsettling. Some say it's just a reflection from the back of the girl's head, that the face is nothing more than pareidolia. But others insist it's something darker, something that was watching. What's your take? Around Christmas, a ghost hunter decided to explore the Cold Christmas Church in the UK. The place is known for stories about children buried beneath the grounds. While he was there, he noticed shadows and faint voices. He even felt light scratches and pinches. When he later reviewed his photos of that night, he realized he had caught some unexplainable figures. One photo definitely looked like a small kid moving between the headstones. The explorer shared it on Reddit, saying he had a 2-week headache after that trip, but still felt pulled back to the site, hoping to understand what those images captured. But I think we already understand what the images captured. A man took a Christmas photo of his wife and mother-in-law at their home. A long time later, when they looked through the pictures again, they noticed an old woman standing in the backyard. She looked like she was from another time. What's more surprising is that the yard was small and fenced, so no one could have walked in without being seen. Others who lived in the area had also reported strange sounds and an uneasy presence in their homes. Some even moved out within months because the place felt off. The neighborhood has a history too, with a wartime internment camp once nearby. People still wonder if the past could explain the figure in the photo. Whatever it is, it's clearly something. This family was out checking Christmas lights when they decided to take a few photos. The yard was bright in the distance, but the road around them was completely dark. There was no flash, no cars coming from either direction, and nothing behind them that could have reflected light into the frame. But when they looked closer at the photos, a faint shape appeared. It looked almost like a person standing near the edge of the dark road, watching the yard from afar. It's hard to say for sure what it was. Maybe it was just the headlights from their car. But that's not all. With more terrifying encounters, this next video is waiting for you.